Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm in the I'm currently trying to get my guest on here. Hold on a second. Back on your laptop and I'll try to find you. I will try to find you the go. Try to get you the code. All right, I got my guest is running a little bit late, but that's my fault because he's a busy dude. I'm a busy dude. The whole nine. All right. So what's going to happen is I'm going to send this to. Give me just a second. So what's going on is I gotta. I need to send this. I'm trying to get multiple things done here, so I'm gonna ask for your patience just real quick. So yeah. So yeah, the plan is we're gonna have ourselves a nice little episode. Ideally, we're gonna have ourselves we're gonna have ourselves a we're gonna have an episode on the finer points of. All right, cool. He's on. This is good. All right, so he'll be on here any second now, hopefully. So let's. Let me get a hold of my. Carl, I'm going to need your help here. I am having problems getting my doc logged in, so I'm trying to figure out what's wrong. So if you can give me a hand real quick. All right, let's start out with. Let's start out. Let me text my buddy here. My buddy Carl to give me a hand with this. So here's what we're gonna do. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start out with. I'm gonna get on Whoa Entertainment. I'm gonna announce the shows, ideally, and we'll have something. Hopefully, we'll have something worked out here in a second. So we're gonna start out with announcing all the shows. So Monday through Friday at 8:08 Central Standard Time is Wake Up Gallatin with Carl. Tuesday afternoon, all times are 1700 Central Standard Time. Wake Up Gallatin at 08. Tuesday is the Whoa Radio with Redneck Pimp and Goose. Wednesday is Gaming with Jennifer Blue Phoenix at 1900 Central Standard Time. Thursday 1400 is Cars and Coronas with Gapplebees. I'm on now at 1700 Central Standard Time. The Harambe Keeper. Eventually, we will get Happy Hour with William back. That's Friday at 7. Saturday at 7 is Hot Boxing with Matt. Sunday is the L Train Fire Station 1400 with Athen, Don, and Nico. 1700 somewhere at 1700 is Athen, Shay, Nico in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, that's the lineup, and everything we're doing is we're getting ready for it didn't work. So yeah, we're trying to get this little technical difficulty worked out. So I'm trying to have him on. I'm trying to get a lot of stuff worked out right now. So because we're trying to have a show on. Basically I paid $320 for a blood panel where they took 9 tubes of blood out of me, and we're going to turn it into a we're going to turn it into a testosterone for dummies class if I can get my if I can get my doc on here, which I'm really trying to do. I've done that that 3 times. So, but in the meantime, I'm going to give you an update on my Jeep. Basically, what's going on right now, I haven't done a coolant flush in going on 5 years now, and I'm pretty sure I need a new fan clutch, so I got a new fan clutch. That was like 50 some odd dollars. Now because Mopar is Mopar, they're going to charge me $110 for a fan shroud. Basically, all said and done, it's going to cost anywhere between $280 and $300 damn dollars just to get my coolant, and plus I bought $80 worth of coolant plus a flush kit. So yeah, I'm going to try this one more time. I'm going to try this one more time, and if not, we're going to have to go, because he just called me. He just messaged me. Let's see if I can get this. Let's see if I can get this. See if I can get this. It should be pretty easy. Copy paste. They come in, and bam, we got an instant show. But apparently, we're encountering technical difficulties. So, the big problem with the Jeep right now is I was using ethylene glycol, the green stuff, when I should have been using manufacturer specific stuff, and now I'm worried about losing my $100 water pump that I replaced right before I came down here to North Carolina in 2016. So yeah, I'm a little tweaked because I cannot afford to have this engine go out on me. It's a straight 6. It's that 4-liter straight 6, so it's a good engine, obviously, but I don't want to abuse it to the point where, I've got to replace all kinds of different, because I don't have the money for engine internals. I don't have a place to do it. So yeah, I'm kind of what I'd like to do right about now, given the shape she's in. Basically, the plan would be, if I could ever get my book published along with a couple of other things done, I want to just put the Jeep in full project status, because I had my one body guy that I know through a friend take one look at it and say minimum 6 months, minimum $50,000 just for the body work. Yeah, my wallet tried to actively escape it. Oh, here we go. All right. Awesome. That was close. How you doing, buddy? Let me get some volume going here. Can you hear me?
Hear a bunch of static.
I can hear you now.
That's better.
There we go.
It wouldn't work on my my laptop, so I have to use my phone, but my phone's about to die, so.
Well, this is going to be, we'll turn this into like a 2 or 3 part series because, well, I didn't spend $320 just for the hell of it. So, okay. What were, let me get the kind of list of questions I kind of sort of half baked through together. So, okay. All right. How you doing? How you been lately? How you been doing?
Oh, just running crazy, man. Running crazy.
Okay, cool.
How about you?
Oh, well, the Jeep broke down, and like I was showing the rest of the audience, I need a new fan clutch.
Nice.
Plus, I need a new fan shroud, and because it's Mopar, it's going to be expensive as hell. So, yeah, it's going to be expensive. Okay. That's going to be another 110 plus the 80 for the coolant and the the flush kit. We're looking at close to $300.
Yeah, gotta love cars and houses, man. They'll eat you alive. I hate them.
Well, there's a reason they call Jeep just everybody else's parts, because yeah. So, all right, let's get to the. I've been working out like a fiend, and because I've been bike riding, because my Jeep's broke down, I'm getting my cardio whether I like it or not. Okay.
Good. That's awesome.
Well, the only unawesome part about it is where I have to drive or bike ride. Let's just say my trainer came out and Mitty almost ran me over the first day that I was riding. The second day, I almost got hit by 2 tractor trailers. So, yeah. Anyways, okay. Oh, don't tell me it died already. You there, Doc? Well, that was a quick interview. So, here's what we'll do. Oh, you're back. Okay, this is good.
And I clicked off, but it's still interrupted. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Okay, that was a little. That was okay. We're gonna turn this into a 2 or 3 part interview process just to get everything done we need to get done.
You're back to sounding staticky again.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me fix that. I got to fix that. Hold that thought. I ain't fancy schmancy, so there we go. That better?
Yeah, much better. Much better.
There we go. There. Okay. All right. Let's talk about, let's start out with the results. What am I missing? What am I low in? That kind of thing.
Let me pull up your labs here. I didn't have time to do it earlier. So biggest thing is obviously we know you're fighting off diabetes and your blood sugar's high. Your hemoglobin A1C was high. That's just a marker of how high your blood sugar's been over the last several months, and that's on the high side. But we're working on your.
Gotcha.
And of course, we know your testosterone was low.
Like, how low are we talking?
I'm going to pull it up here. And which kind of we figured going in there.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, we want to correct all those things. Your blood sugar is what's going to kill you if we don't get that under control. So your blood sugar was 105, and your hemoglobin A1C was 5.9. We want that to be below 5.5, 5.6, right?
Okay.
Your vitamin D was low. We talked about that. That was only 15. We got to get that up to like at least 60.
Okay.
Your liver tests, blood counts were good. And then, like I said, your testosterone, we need to get that up. So it was 280. The total was 285. And what we look for is a range of, it goes from 300 to 1,000. But it's not so much the number, it's about how you're feeling, because there's a lot of variation based on genetics and things like that. One guy at 500 may feel awesome. Another guy at 500 feels like crap. So, but in general, most of my guys tend to do better when they're on their upper range, 700, 800. Gotcha. So yours was pretty low. We look at what's called the free testosterone, which is just the number we look at, but they were both on the low side. So those were low. Vitamin D was low, and blood sugar was low on the high side. So we want the opposite of that, right? We want the blood sugar down,
right.
testosterone level, and vitamin D up.
Okay. So, okay. All right. As far as my testosterone goes, so I eat, right? Does my testosterone go up or down based on how I eat? I mean, how's that work?
Doesn't affect it too much, truthfully. Now, if you're eating like total crap, it can definitely bring it down. You want a good diet, a nutritious whole food based diet to optimize testosterone levels. If you're not getting enough healthy fats, not eating enough protein or carbohydrates, and of course, if you're just eating junk food all day, it's going to lower levels. Now, if you go to eating steaks and vegetables and the sweet potatoes and etc., is that going to bump it up? Sure. If you're eating like crap, it's definitely going to bump up, but you're not going to go from say 200 to 1,000 just by eating or working out.
Right.
It'll bump up. It'll help for sure.
Okay. Come on. I hate it when my phone goes off when I'm trying to. Okay.
Yeah.
So does the testosterone? What does the testosterone kind of ebb and flow during the day? Like when I'm working out, what's happening when I'm working out?
Yeah, it ebbs and flows during the day, like all your hormones do. It tends to be highest in the morning and a little bit lower in the afternoon, evening. Workouts, it can vary. A lot of times, especially if you're doing a lot of strength training, you can get a little temporary bump in it, but it's short-lived. It'll come back after you stop working out and chill. So, but the more often you get it higher, the better, right? So, by working out, several times a week, it's always going to be beneficial, but you're not going to have sustained levels just from working out, but it is going to give you those temporary bumps. That's a good thing.
Okay, here's the question then. Should I be should I be on my way to the gym in the morning working out, or does it really even matter?
It doesn't matter. I mean, if you look at rhythms, our peak of strength and best time to work out is late afternoon. But if your schedule is such that you're tired, you can work or whatever, and you just don't have time, and you can work out in the morning, whatever works best for you, your body will adapt to that, and you'll get used to that.
Okay. Let's see. What's next? Let's see. Okay. So working out and eating healthy positively affects it. Let's see. My father's a Vietnam vet, right? And he was exposed to Agent Orange. Now, if you're looking at that, it's got a live timer on there. You see that shade of red right there? That's one night I was with him, and when my uncle was still in the Air Force many moons ago, like before I even went in the military, that he got into a pool with chlorine in it. He came out that shade of red.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yes. Now, from what I've been told, because my father had Agent Orange, and he and my mom gave birth to me, that my genes are mutated. Would that affect me at all, as far from a testosterone output from just any kind? Is that going to affect am I going to be off, basically, so to speak?
It's definitely possible.
Okay.
As to how much, I don't know. Hard to say.
Okay. That would be one of those things I'd want to get a study done. Here's the thing. What I'm wanting to do, besides this interview, I'm trying to help. Me and a group of veterans are trying to get a network set up, right? And we've been talking heavily about PTSD, diabetes, and low testosterone as a three-headed monster.
Sure.
That needs to be addressed. Are there any kind of like groups of doctors studying that specific three-headed monster? And what will we have to do to stand up a group like that to say, hey, is there research out there? From what my guy Chad Chase, he's an Air Force guy, and he's a veteran advocate. He's telling me the VA's done a boatload of research, but they're just sitting on it because they don't want to actually pony up the money to address the issue, to study and implement the solutions to the problem. So are there groups of doctors, are there medical groups out there studying this and getting the research and looking at implementing solutions? Because go ahead.
All the time. I mean, I have a lot of colleagues that I work with and that I know in some of my professional organizations that all we do is hormone optimization. So we deal with testosterone, diabetes, and all the time. And a lot of men who have traumatic brain injury, PTSD, things like that, because a lot of them, it's not so much. A lot of them don't even have PTSD. They've had traumatic brain injury, and they have secondary hormonal dysfunction as a result of that, which is being that PTSD, but it's actually a hormonal issue.
You're right.
So a lot of me and my colleagues will treat these guys hormonally, lifestyle changes, and all of a sudden their PTSD is gone because it was never PTSD to begin with.
Right.
there's another doctor out in California who he does a lot of work on PTSD and traumatic brain injury. He actually partnered up with a guy from Wounded Warrior Project, I think, and they've done a ton of education on TBI and helping veterans with basically what we're talking about. But my group, I belong to a group called World Link Medical, and that's all we do is bioidentical hormones, and we treat all of the above. So,
gotcha. Well, the reason I'm asking that is I can't count on the VA to do anything other than shove pills down my throat and surgically do stuff that's so invasive it's disgusting. I'm going to throw a couple of symptoms at you just so you can be like, okay, he's having these problems, and maybe you can throw them at a couple of your colleagues, and just see where, like, okay, if I'm working out, right? I'm working out, I do a set. I had an incident where I had a roadside bomb go off behind me about 50 feet or so, maybe 50 to 100 feet. And this is in the book. I instinctively grabbed the steering wheel, right? Okay, because we were stopped. That's the problem. You never stop right outside the front gate. You're just asking to get you're a bomb magnet at that point. The bomb goes off. I instinctively grab the steering wheel. My eyes shake in my sockets and my colon shakes in my body. And I'm sitting there for about 30 seconds, good and disoriented, right?
Right.
Now, if I drink, yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was a mess. But we got out of there. We were fine. Every now and again, it happens pretty regularly. I'm working out. I'll do a set. I have to walk around to kind of regulate my time, because if I sit there, my brain will just start spinning out of control like you would not believe. I could be in the middle of a set of 8. I could lose count, and I wouldn't be sure if I did 8 reps and I just pound out 2 or 3 extra reps. But it's like my short-term memory is that bad, and if I'm sitting still, my brain's going to start spinning out of control. Like, I won't be able to tell you my own damn name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's that bad. I'll never forget. This happened just the other day. This is just wild as hell. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here. I'm looking at the bar, the juice bar, and to my right, I've got the stairs to go upstairs to the cardio room to where they do all the classes, and then to my extreme right, I'm is the women's locker room. Okay. I'm looking out of my peripheral vision. All of a sudden, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even consciously do it. I just turned my head to the right, and it's like, what the hell? It's just it was a weird little tick I can't quite explain. So yeah.
Spinning sensation, or
the spinning sensation is usually right at the end of the set, but when I'm right as soon as I'm done with the set, about 10 to 15 seconds, my brain is just going to start spinning. I couldn't tell you my own damn name to save my life. Okay.
Sounds like you have vertigo.
That's weird as hell. I wouldn't know. That's the thing. I can't get this stuff diagnosed by the VA. They'll just say lose weight and you're faking it. Especially this VA here in Salisbury.
But does it feel like the room is spinning or moving?
No, it's just my brain is my brain is going a mile a minute.
Oh, okay.
And every now and again, I will get a little bit dizzy. I'll get a little bit dizzy.
Okay.
So yeah. I got another weird one. This happened several years ago, but I'm still weirded out by it. So I'm at a massage therapist. It was right after I got home from Iraq, and she beat the tar out of me for a good hour. And then she, that mud that that you paint on that's supposed to, okay. Yeah. She paints me with the mud. She's got an electric heated bed, and she wraps me in like wax paper, like a big ass roll of wax paper. And then she covers me up with an electric blanket, right, to melt the mud. The mud never melted. I had literally, there's like 2 spots where it melted. The rest of my body is just, they couldn't bake me hot enough to cook it all off.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's a couple. What's that?
I have no idea about that one. Maybe you had some bad mud.
I don't know. It's weird as hell. But no, I've got these problems, and I can't go to the VA because they don't give me direct answers, and they just I don't even talk to my endocrinologist anymore because he just Literally, I can't talk to him. I can't talk to the advice nurse. They're just tired of my crap, because when I'm like, this answer isn't good enough, once if you challenge them at all and you demand something more specific, they cut you off.
Yeah. Oftentimes when these hormones are out of balance, they act like what we call neurosteroids. They act not just in the body, but in the brain. It fires, helps with connections, and they act by reducing inflammation and by improving connectivity, kind of like your circuits are not connecting. So oftentimes when we fix these, the circuits start firing again, and your short-term memory kicks back in. You're not scrambling for words, and you're mentating a little bit more clearly. That happens.
Yeah,
that happens a lot.
Well, I'm starting to do some fundraising so I can come back up there and we can get all this treatment done. But yeah, I would want this to turn into kind of a study, so to speak, to where I'm like this interview. This is going to be a multi-part interview. You know what I'm saying? Because I want this to get other veterans saying, these VA people suck. This guy's getting a doctor to tell me stuff I've never heard before that the VA doctor sure as hell won't tell me. Okay.
Sure. I'd love to help other veterans like you. And the cool thing is, now that I've seen you, I mean, we could, treating hormones. I mean, heck, we could do it. You don't even have to come up here. I could prescribe down there and order all your medications and everything. I could treat you this way over Zoom, so you don't have to drive all the way up here again.
Well, I still do want to get that what was it called, the sine wave treatment?
Oh, the Gaines wave.
The Gaines wave. Yeah, I still want to get the Gaines wave done because I'm going to be doing a couple things. Yeah. I got a couple friends I was with in Baghdad that are up there, and I would be getting multiple things done anyway. So I'd be coming in for the Gaines wave, and I've got a couple friends I got to meet up with anyways. One of which I'm going to do a literary project with anyways. So yeah, I'd be killing. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back up here, man. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. So it's just going to be a matter of. Wait. I got a couple questions here. Okay, this is going to be good. How did you get a doc to interview with you that is a nice doc? That's how douchebaggy the VA docs are, that we're shocked when we actually. Yeah, you see how bad it is?
And I'm on my good behavior too. Usually I'm a lot more ornery and rambunctious. I'm being calm tonight.
Oh, that's nice. Do you feel like a doctor's experiment? Chase, I feel like mine doesn't listen to my questions. See how bad we got it? You see how bad we got it? Where we're shocked when we come across people who are nice.
No, trust me. I've got a handful of veteran patients, and I love working with them, and they're a joy. And yeah, it's refreshing on both sides. So.
Oh yeah, and it's because we're so grateful when we have doctors who actually talk to us. At one point, I was talking to my caseworker. There's a Harry Potter character. She was this evil chick in pink. Her name was Dolores Umbridge. I literally called my current doctor, Dolores Umbridge.
That's funny.
Yeah. I'm literally talking to her one day, and I'm sitting here. I'm on my phone. I don't even want to look at her because she normally tries to get me in and out in 7 minutes flat.
Right.
Yeah, literally. But no, she's like, you seem angry today. I'm like, you're not smart enough to moonlight as both a doctor and a shrink. Just stop.
Just stop. Yeah.
Stop. Just please stop. Oh yeah. So what I want to do, I know you only got a few minutes left. Let's come up with because I literally now have a friend coming down in a couple of months.
Okay.
She's going to be doing some cooking, and she's going to add some recipes to my cookbook. So why don't we get you working on some testosterone-friendly foods? Okay, there's this book called Blood Types, Body Types in You by a guy named Joseph Cristiano. It's for your blood type. And he's got 3 lists: a beneficial list, a neutral list, and an avoid list. Why don't we take that style from a dietary standpoint, from both supplements and food, as far as testosterone, and have that. We'll put that list of foods, those 3 lists of foods and supplements at the back of the book. That way, that'll be in there to help with like hormonal stuff, and vitamins you should be taking. So why don't we get to work on that?
I like it.
And yeah, we'll get that going. So we're looking at a vitamin D supplement, a good vitamin D supplement, a testosterone booster of some kind. What else are we looking at?
Well, ideally, you just need testosterone, my man, and that's a pharmaceutical that I can prescribe for you. That'd be the best thing.
Okay. All right. That works. All right. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Let's see what time. Oh, it's 6:30 right now. So why don't we get you out of here? Because next week I got one guest on. The week after that, I'll get you back on and we'll continue this. And we could just turn this into, I don't want to say an ongoing thing, but we could get this to where we can get information to the veterans. And then they can take it to the VA and be like, why aren't you helping us with this? And because here's the thing. I've been told I'm a little too mean to the VA. I'm going to tell this to all the veterans out there. I don't want to be mean to them to discourage you from going to them. I want to be mean to them to shame them into the fetal position until they'll start treating you better. That's what I want. I will shame them into submission if it kills me. So,
yeah.
All right, Doc.
They're probably not going to do what we do, but I mean, we're happy to help. But if you can get them to help you guys, I think that'd be fantastic. But more than likely, you're going to have to come see me and some of my colleagues to do it right. But we're happy.
Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to drive so much business your way in the process of pissing off the VA to the point where they cut us off like they do me.
Right.
You guys will have business coming your way like it's nobody's business.
No, we'll have a good time.
Yes, we will. All right, Doc.
All right,
I'll talk at you later.
See you guys.
All right. Apparently, this is going to turn into a multi-part interview because I'm going to get what I forgot to ask him. I will talk about it, but I'm planning on the gains wave treatment. We're going to put that on here, and you're going to watch me go through the process of, getting my junk blasted by sound waves. Okay. Plus, and here's the thing. The VA is, this isn't going to be cheap for one simple reason. In principle, I can't stand the VA. Okay. Because they are a minimalist. They are minimalist from a result standpoint. Okay. They don't, as long as they can do the minimum just to get you above the minimum. I bet he is a busy doc. Oh yeah, April. He runs around like a chicken with his head cut off. Okay, let's just get that straight right now. He is a working fool. So, and I want to do this with him, so I can say I work successfully with a civilian doctor. Okay, I work successfully with a civilian doctor, and we got what I needed to get the job done to where I can do good things, to where I can do, everything I want to do. Because I've got until basically May, June, July, August, September, October. I've got about just a hair under 6 months to get the rest of this weight off. And I need my testosterone cranked up to do it because I am killing myself in the damn gym. I'm killing myself in the gym. Okay. Write it down. I'm going to go back and I'm going to rewatch this as soon as it's over with. I'll give myself a little bit of a break, but yeah, I'm going to take all kinds of notes. Here's the thing. Gene Wazenberg, do you feel like a doctor's experiment? I am a doctor's experiment, and I'm fine with that. If we can either shame the VA into submission to treat us like this doctor treats us, or get in the pool, start swinging. Yeah, I'll get right on that. Yeah, as soon as I can find a gym. My gym doesn't have a pool, but I'll figure something out. When I go to Ohio to visit my buddies, there's a gym with a pool that I can go to. And yeah, I do like swimming because it's easier on my old beat to hell joints. Okay, so here's the thing. Thank God you can catch me drinking this. Okay, here's the thing. I am a guinea pig. And I'm fine with it. You know why? If I can affect enough change to where doctors like Eric here can get more business drawn to him to where veterans are treated properly, and if I can shame the VA into either changing their ways or just say, I want the VA at one point to say, you know what, to hell with it, just shut him up, just pay these doctors. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to show it to you, but I'm going to Okay, Wonder Warrior Project, right? I went to this hospital up in, the New Jersey incident where I ended up in a 2-day diabetic coma. I'm not sure if the VA was supposed to pay for it. I'm not sure if Wonder Warrior Project was supposed to pay for it, but I went to look for. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to call up Trinitas in New Jersey to get my actual blood sugar numbers. I'll call them. I'll get that next week. I'll have that for you next week. Somebody forgot to pay the damn bill because I go to log on to look for my blood sugar numbers. Yeah, I still $1,351 according to them. So my credit's being ruined because somebody doesn't want to pay the damn bill. So yeah, it's just to say my blood pressure and my frustration aren't just rocketing through the roof because of this crap. And as far as these bills are concerned, I haven't gotten a bill back, but maybe somebody in Salisbury at the Salisbury VA was watching, like, oh crap. Maybe my caseworker, you're a pain in the ass. One of your pain in the ass veterans is literally running his mouth out on his podcast about the bill not getting paid. So, yeah, maybe, just maybe me having a fit in these podcasts about these bills and about how my doctor is treating me and about her nurse treating me like an idiot, giving me an impromptu class on how to properly wear a mask. Maybe me shaming them on the internet. Yeah, I'm type 2 as well, Gene. And here's the thing. I'll ask Goose if I can I'll get the, I've already got my triglycerides. Yeah, I'm okay. I look for Goose on Whoa Entertainment, ask him what my blood sugars were, ask him what my triglycerides were that I sent him. They were over 10. The worst blood test results as far as my triglycerides were 10,016. I texted Goose a picture of it. He's got it. He's seen it. He's like, how are you not dead? I'm like, I'm leaning towards divine intervention. So, but yeah, okay. So we're going to talk about, we've had the talk about with my doc. Yeah. You know what? I'll talk with my Wonder Warrior Project guy. I already texted him a picture of it. He's probably pissed off and embarrassed that I sent him the picture of the $1,300 bill that either Wonder Warrior Project or the VA forgot to pay. So yeah, that's steadily ruining my credit. But hey, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. If I can use this, you want to try Atkins? I'm debating Atkins. I mean, my brain's already fried as is. Being without carbs is just not an option for me. So yeah, if we work everything out, let me show. Okay, if we work everything out, I'm gonna have my book for you guys once I unshuffle it. We'll get into that mess later. A cookbook with healthy stuff, not so healthy stuff, and we're gonna have some helpful information in the back to help you make the smartest possible decisions on what to eat and how to supplement. Because right now, what I'm doing, I am getting jacked out of my mind on any kind of really good pre-workout. I am lifting to the point where I actually have one of my trainers scolding me because, like, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have a kettlebell class that I normally go to. I've missed the last couple. I'm kind of pissed about it. I go from that to my regular workout. He actually scolds me and makes me either A, eat something, or B, get a post-workout shake in my gut between workouts because he knows I'm diabetic. But here's the problem. Here's my problem. I'm going to own some of my behavior. I'm a proud, stubborn prick. I am. Now, because my triglycerides have been my triglycerides were over 10,000. Goose can verify it. He's seen it. Because my A1C was 12.7, and all they said at Trinitas, all they said was my blood sugars were over 1,000. I got to find that number so I can give you guys an exact number. Because I've been on the high end and I was in a diabetic coma, because I'm proud and stubborn and I hate accepting help and I hate asking for help, what happens is when you run out of money before you run out of month, guess what? You're going to be intermittently fasting whether you like it or not. So I use that as an excuse to say, okay, I've been on the high end. I saw what happened. I'm going to sit on the low end. And if nothing bad happens, by my simplistic estimation, because I'm not a doctor, I'm fine. Okay. Keto. As far as keto is concerned, I've got a couple of trainers / nutritionists who are not keen on keto. They're not high on keto. I don't know a hell of a lot about it. I had a chick I hooked up with once. Yeah. She was pushing keto, and it's like, so it is what it is. Now, right now I got to get my hormones back in, because as you can tell, my hormones are out of whack to the point where I'm having like involuntary, like my brain's in the blender. My brain is absolutely in the blender. Like I mentioned before, I could be working out, right? Keto only works until you stop it, then you gain it all back. So right now, I don't have the mental discipline for keto. So what I'm doing right now is I'm living out of a pressure cooker, and I'm having to really clean up the ingredients because I'm not doing potatoes anymore. No, that's just going to fat me up. So I'm doing egg noodles. No nutritionist would recommend keto. Yeah, you're right. A fog, yes. I like to say my brain is in the blender, and I like to say I've got a million thoughts running through my head, and if I just happen to catch 10,000 of them, it's a good day. So fog, blender, yeah, pick a turn. Like literally, I could be in the middle of a set and I would lose track. Literally, I could be sitting there, my brain, I'd be 1, 2, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? And I'm like, my body is literally doing it, and my brain's like, what the hell's going on? And then the civilians look at me like I'm nuts. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then I have to walk around, and my brain just starts spinning out of control to where it's like my brain is just, there's no thought involved. I'm just like, I look like I'm like high or something, Hey, do me a favor and in the comments section, kind of elaborate on that for me, so we could have a little discussion. But yeah, like I could literally be in the middle of a set, and my brain just shuts the hell off, and I'd have a workout partner be like, wait, how many did I do? Are you sure? Yeah, I have. The problem is because of my PTSD and how loopy I am, I've kind of, I got to be careful when I go into the gym, because the regulars, they don't exactly get along with me. And I own that. That's fine. OCD. Here's the thing about OCD. One thing I do a lot, and I get ornery about it. Like I'll be in the middle of a set, right? And then someone will get on the scale, and let's say the shoulder press machine where you could load it the hell up is like it's the scale, my trainer's office, another trainer's office. If they get on the scale and they don't zero it back out, I want to strangle them, like just and I will literally go over and zero it out, and I'll look at the trainer like, how many brain cells does it take? Do you have how many firing neurons does it take? Do you have to expend to zero out a scale once you're done using it? How lazy and stupid? And they're like, just relax. So yeah, here's the thing. I'm obviously hormonally out of balance. Okay, my testosterone's obviously my vitamin D is low. I got to get my blood sugars down, which means I don't want to say it, but these got to go away. Because it's like when I'm getting ready to go to the gym, church, or the podcast, it's like I'm getting jacked up for a mission. I don't sleep before missions. Where if it feels like a mission to me, my brain is going and going and going, and it doesn't stop until it's just a mess. And I got to work with guys like Dr. Eric because he's actually acting like he wants to really delve into what's going on up here. Have I done the mindfulness stuff? I have, and it's like this is like 10 seconds in. This is boring. I literally had one of these idiot VA counselors. No offense to the people that were in the class, they were like high functioning invalids. So they had me in a class with a bunch of high functioning invalids, and they're going through the most basic behavioral stuff. Like how to say hi to people, and it's like, no. You did not put me in a group full of a bunch of high functioning invalids. And after every person would complete the task, she would literally clap like this. And everyone would clap. And I'd be sitting there like, you think I'm a high functioning invalid? She'd look at me like, clap like a retard. Clap like a retard. I'm going to scold you. And then like, hurry up and in this damn classroom. Get the hell out of here. So now the mindfulness stuff just gets boring like that. I need. Damn it! I should have brought I love using my like 8, 9, 10-year-old freaking. I like using my 10-year-old scan tool because it still works for my Jeep as kind of a to make a point, about diagnosing things a little more deeply. It's not always as simple as behavior, So the mindfulness stuff is just repetitive and boring. It's like I already know how to do this. It's not that I don't want to do it because I've got deeper seated stuff going on, and you don't want to address the deeper seated stuff. You just want to treat me like a high functioning invalid and hope I'll just go away. That's what the VA does. They do the most basic stuff and just assume that if you don't want to do this basic stuff, you're the problem. You're just non-compliant. They want veterans to be non-compliant so they can drum them out the door and they don't actually have to do any real work, like the kind of work Dr. Eric Fete wants to do. He wants to look at me on a hormonal level. He wants to look at me, on a brain chemistry level. These people are like, these idiots at the VA are like, clap along with the rest of the retard. That's all they do. They do the super basic stuff, and there's nothing else but basic stuff for them because they're just. I don't want to say this, but the only people that work at the VA doctors are people who are learning and need guinea pigs. And so we as veterans are essentially guinea pigs. And if you are a doctor who's been in the field forever, who's been in the medical profession forever, you're basically just mediocre. So noobs and mediocre doctors are the only people that work at most VA hospitals. Let's just be. Well, I'm just going to put it out there, especially at the Salisbury VA. I already know that they know that I'm talking smack about them, so I got no problem mentioning them at this point. Matter of fact, I'm going to have a friend over. He's going to come over and visit. We're going to powwow and catch up and stuff. And he's the one who, when I got out of inpatient treatment and HUD-VASH conveniently lost my paperwork, and I was sleeping in my Jeep that is no longer running properly. I was sleeping in the VA parking lot because Salisbury is one of the most dangerous cities in North Carolina, next to Charlotte. And basically I was sleeping out in the VA parking lot after they threw me out of the lobby for sleeping in the lobby, because, it's like, oh crap, we actually got to do our jobs and throw a veteran out on his ass. The VA parking lot was probably one of the safest places for me, so I wouldn't, basically get mugged. But on the bright side, they were nice enough to give me their crappy little equivalent of a VA cop MRE, so there was that. But yeah, I'm gonna have him over. We're gonna get together and we're gonna talk about the VA. And you know what? I have no problem mentioning them at this point, simply because, again, Carl was telling me that I shouldn't be so hard on the VA to discourage other veterans to go to the VA if they really need it. I'm not. Okay, let me say it to you like this. I am not discouraging you as a veteran to go to the VA. What I'm attempting to do, I want you to believe that I'm doing, my goal is to shame them into giving us better treatment, providing us better treatment, regardless of whether or not we have insurance. And okay. Let's see what we got here. Best treatment I ever did was a good therapist that did real personal cognitive behavior therapy based on cognitive distortion. I did that. I've done the whole cognitive distortion thing, and I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I don't, because I hate the VA, I just don't feel like they do the best job when it comes to cognitive distortion. Because here's the thing, it's obvious. I've actually thrown out symptoms of problems that I've had. I'm going to throw out one more. When I drink my post-workout shake, if I drink it too fast, this eye right here, I feel a dull pain right here, and then I feel like there's something stabbing its way out of my eye from the inside out. Yeah, have fun with that. So there's a combination of things in here. The VA just wants to assume it's just one thing. Okay. They never want anything to be hormonal to where they would have to give out drugs that are too expensive if you don't have insurance. Because if you've got insurance, they'll just bill the VA. The VA will just bill your civilian insurance from here to eternity. If you don't have insurance, you get nothing. Let me say that again. You get nothing other than the most basic, rudimentary minimum treatment possible. You can have. I would love to have a VA administrator to come on this show to challenge me, because every single concern I've ever had to where I would get more than the bare minimum, or I would want a more in-depth analysis and assessment of my current condition, there is always a federal or VA regulation against it. They never actually say what the regulation is, but it's there. They got a regulation. They'll never tell you what it actually is, but they'll just say they say the regulation exists. Yeah, mine was, there you go. It was a civilian provider, or provider, not providee. There's no such thing as a provider. You're the providee. There you go. No, this is why I'm going, again, I will never shame you. I will never discourage you from the veteran from going to the VA. What I want to do, I want to get these networks established where you have an alternative to the VA. You know, doctors like my doctor that actually wants to treat me. You know, they actually care about me. Dr. Eric actually makes me feel like he cares about me like a human being. Whereas Dolores Umbridge at the VA is condescending, sanctimonious, and stuck up on a level that's just breathtakingly offensive. And as a veteran, I don't like admitting I'm offended, but damn, she offends me. But yeah, so we're gonna this testosterone thing is going to turn into a multi-part that we'll almost call it a series. Okay. And what we're gonna do, I'm gonna throw these symptoms out there. Doc's gonna take it to his group, and we're gonna figure out what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? We already know my testosterone's low. Now the VA would say it's fine simply because they don't want to pony up the money for effective treatments, because I don't have insurance. If you don't have insurance, you get the minimum care possible. And I challenge any VA administrator to come on here and talk with me about it. I will call them a liar to their faces. So what I ultimately want the VA to do, I want them to say, we will make it a priority to pay you to go to the doctor you want to go to. We're never going to make you happy because we're mediocre minimalists who simply want to give you the minimum because, you don't rate quality care because you don't actually have insurance. I would love to see how many veterans come into the VA that don't have insurance. I challenge, and a Christian woman. You're not going to find that. You're not going to find either of those in the same person in the VA. That will never, ever, ever happen. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. It's never going to happen. because the VA is all about itself. It's about perpetuating its own existence, and we as the veterans are the means to that end. So the veterans in the VA, thinking about going to the VA, go to the VA. But what I'm saying is, me and my guys, me and my group of veterans and this doctor are going to work on establishing a network. We're going to establish a network so when the VA invariably does you wrong, and they will do you wrong, you've got another option. While I want them to do better, I think we both know that's highly unlikely. And that's being kind and sweet to them. Okay. Again, VA doctors are nothing but noobs who need people to experiment on. And they're mediocre doctors who simply, they're mediocre doctors who just aren't that good in the civilian sector. So they come into the VA and they only need to be licensed in one state or just federally, so yeah. No, I'm going to keep fighting these people. I'm not going to shut my mouth anymore. I've got an outlet and I'm going to use it. And I'm not doing it to hurt you, my fellow veteran. Okay. I'm doing it to either shame them into being better, which we all know really doesn't have a significant chance of happening, or they're going to say, okay, he is at the point where he's actually showing the damn bills that we're not paying, because I've got a list of in my writing program. In the writing program that I'm working on, I tell the story of the New Jersey incident. It's got a lot of work to get cleaned up to get it to flow a lot better. There is a list of expenditures that top $65,000 that the VA refused to pay until my buddy Jonathan Pruden got involved. Okay, $65,000, and had Jonathan Pruden not okay. Here's the thing: when the squeaky clean voice of reason is pissed off, and that's Jonathan Pruden. He's the squeaky clean, cool as a cucumber voice of reason. When you piss him off to the point where he actually starts using the kind of profanity that I use, you done screwed the pooch. Matter of fact, what the VA will never admit, and Jonathan Pruden will vouch for this, they ultimately pawned off 95% of those bills because apparently right after I mentioned this before, but it bears repeating, and I'm not going to stop. Apparently, right after I was still kind of groggy when I came out of my coma. Apparently, in my grogginess, after I came out of my coma, I filled out some paperwork. I was still half asleep when I filled out the paperwork for the charity that the state of New Jersey runs. I filled out that paperwork, and basically the VA pawned off like 95% of the bills onto that charity, the official charity of the state of New Jersey. Okay, so yeah, basically that's what they're going to do. If they can't just piss you off to the point where you stop trying to get them to pay the bill and let the bill collectors destroy your credit, which they've done to me, they'll pawn it off on some other charity so they don't have to pay the bill. Okay? I've had this done to me. A friend of mine who will remain nameless. Yes, the bang is kicking in. Yes, I'm sorry. He's had his credit ruined too, almost as bad as mine, or as bad as mine, if not worse than mine, because the VA wasn't in the mood to pay the bill. What I want to do, I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep saying things like this. And just so you know, when the writing program, by the way, Pete Barlow, aka GI Low, he's got my writing program. He's going to help me make it readable. He's going to help me make it usable for you as a veteran. So what I'm providing is my book, my writing program, which is an AAR for the book. So if you ever want to write a book, you've got some kind of a plan to work from, and a cookbook. So I'm going to have these 3 things for you. Okay, so you can do all kinds of different stuff. You know, if you want to write a book, here's all the stupid things that said don't make this mistake. And remember, when I started this book, Zoom wasn't in existence, StreamYard wasn't in existence, Messenger was barely in existence. So I did this the hard way. And what I'm saying to you is don't do it the hard way. I'm going to tell you don't make these mistakes like what I made, because like I've always said, between the 2 deployments in the book, I have 6 to 8 functioning brain cells left. And I've got to preserve them for how much life I have left, okay? So I'm giving you these things. And what I'm going to do with these things is I'm going to shame the VA into absolute oblivion. I have an entire section in the back of the book in the epilogue about all the stupid things the VA has done to alienate, demonize, and stab me in the back. The story of the New Jersey incident with all of the expenditures that the VA wasn't going to pay unless Jonathan Pruden went off on them. Again, when the squeaky clean voice of reason becomes the bad guy, you screwed up. The VA screwed up. So I'll have the story and all the expenditures. Carboy 10. To quote Kid Rock, welcome to the party. Okay. So you're going to get to read all this stuff. And once it's out there forever. And hopefully other veterans will be like me and share their stories so unabashedly. The VA is like, okay, they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop shaming us. They're not going to stop embarrassing us. They're not. I mean, I literally had a guy named Chad Chase on here who literally told everyone that his doctor told him to commit suicide and prescribed him enough morphine to actually do it. Did I serve? Yes. I served in Iraq in 2005. I was up at a little fob called Q West. Okay. It was the village. The name of the village was called Al Kayara. Don't even ask me to spell Kayara because it's some Arabic shit I couldn't spell. No, Kayara, Qarayyah or something like that. That was my first deployment. That was intended to be Anaconda North in case we went to war with either Syria or Iran or both. That was my first deployment. That was the boring. April, give me a call. I'll help you write your damn book. That's going to be my side hustle once all this stuff is published. I'm going to help veterans write their books. I'm going to help them tell their stories. I'm going to have them. Oh, the second deployment was okay. Where's the damn book? Okay. Carboy 10. My second deployment was in a prison in Baghdad. I was a prison guard in a prison in Baghdad. That was the second deployment. That was a little place in Baghdad, just on the outskirts of Baghdad, really. I was on the very outer edge of the Victory Liberty complex. Okay. If once I come up with a hashtag, once the book is out, this is just a prototype. I gotta get it. Yeah, we're going to talk about that mess later. My now former publisher did the stories like a deck of cards and shuffled them and pissed off my editor. So I kind of that just ended bad. But anyways, yeah, my second deployment it started in Baghdad at Fob Crapper, yeah, and then my first sergeant in that unit, because I was only there the last 5.5 months of that unit's deployment. That first sergeant found out I wanted to extend. He stalked and cornered me, dragged me into the S1, and had me extend with another unit. So I went from Fob Crapper, just outside the Liberty Victory Complex, down to Talil Adder. I called up my uncle, and he's like, "Dude, you're still broke. You need to extend again." So I extended with another unit to where I had to go back behind the National Guard's unit to find another unit to extend with. So I was there for a total of about 20 months. Okay. The second deployment was the one that fried brain cells, because technically I was only supposed to be in country 18 continuous months, but there were females getting knocked up so they could get out of the deployment early. And the sergeant major approved it. Said at least he wants to be. At least he wants to be here and he wants to work. He's not a lazy so and so and so and so. So yeah, they extended me. So yeah. Okay. Let me get to this comment right here. I want to write a book, but I have more than one opinion from people on what I should write about if I do paranormal experiences. I have an in for a publisher if I do my special needs kids, possibly. If you want help writing the book, I'll help you. I'm what I like to call a psychological editor, and I'll go into that. But yeah, back to the writing program. Me and Pete Barlow are working on making that something usable, readable, user friendly, so you can get the most out of it. I'll explain the ignition system analogy. You got your ignition coil right here, and then you got the distributor. And I'm talking old school before ignitions, which is crap. And then you got the spark plug over here. The ignition coil is your brain. The spark plug is the laptop or the notebook. My job is to get it from that to the coil on plug, which is this one solid assembly to get the most raw, honest, authentic content from your brain into whatever medium you're writing in. And it's completely okay to go back and forth from laptop to notebook, because you're going to invariably edit your brains out, and you're going to go through multiple drafts in the process of editing your brains out, transferring from notebook to laptop. So don't be afraid to go back and forth. Okay. All right. What's next? If I'm wrong, some of those issues are caused by poor diet. The heavier we get, the amount of testosterone we produce. It's a combination of that. Yeah, and I'm working out. You want to know how much I'm working out? You want to know what I'm doing? I work out semi-regularly. That's 405, and that was the last time I did it with shoes. I'm all about being barefoot now, and I'm up to 445. So yeah, and because my Jeep broke, I'm doing cardio whether I like it or not, like I mentioned. So yeah, and plus I'm 45 years old, so I'm going to need to be supplementing, and we're going to work on my diet to get that fixed, but that's going to cost money. All right. April, we'll talk this coming weekend, and I'll help you get started. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah. As far as good info, this is just the beginning. We're gonna turn this into some. Again, the cookbook's gonna have all Dr. Eric's information in the back, so you can make the most informed decisions possible. You can set up a schedule. We'll work on having a schedule. Actually, what we're gonna do, I've got my powerlifting mentor buddy. I'm gonna get my eating schedule out of him, and I'll share that with you guys, and I'll run it by Dr. Eric, and we'll tweak it. Okay. So yeah, all this stuff I'm taking everything I'm going through and I'm just throwing it at you, so you could say, okay, he's actually throwing it out there and letting himself be critiqued, and he's doing this. I mean, this is not faking it. This is not half-assing it. This sucks, but I got to do it. So, but yeah. Remind me. Oh, somebody remind me. Remind me. But yeah. Remind me. I got to talk to Dr. Eric. I'll throw this in next week. I'll see. We'll get going. What we're gonna do. I'm just gonna share this with you right now to get it out of my head, because the egg. Now that I've thought about it, the egg timer's going, so I got to get it out before it's gone. Okay. One of the reasons I lift that heavy. Okay. This is wild and out there. I've shared it before, but I'm going to share it again now. Okay. When I was a boy, I had okay. You've heard of the fight or flight response. Okay. There's a third option as far as it's a 3-part response, really. Fight, flee, or freeze. Not many people are aware of the freeze response. I froze. Okay. It's in the book. You'll get to read it. You guys got to be getting tired of hearing that. So we got to get this damn book published, but we'll get to that later. So I freeze. Physically, I'm paralyzed. Like my brain is like, you need to move. My dad, my Vietnam vet dad in Vietnam vet crisis mode, is screaming at me to move. My mother is behind him, just she mentally checked all the way out, like all the way out, like cuckoo for something other than Cocoa Puffs all the way out. My brain sent a signal to my body to move. My body said, screw you, we're not moving. I could literally feel my tendons burning, like they were hot, they were burning. Hey, Pimp, how you doing? But no, so like my tendons and my ligaments were on fire. My eyelids hurt because they were trying to open and close and they were stuck. My jaw hurt right at the hinges because I was trying to move those and they were stuck. So when I lift like that, it kind of simulates it simulates the, how do I say this? It simulates the paralysis to an extent, but me moving, it's like my mind's like, okay, my body's working now, and it's like I will win a little. That's the best way I can explain it. Okay, so that's why I do that. Have fun with that. Say that to a shrink and see what they say. Show this video to a shrink and see what they say. Okay, and because I'm going to share something. I have one of the people. When my publisher and I were talking, there were a few key groups we were trying to get this book into. Civilian populace, obviously. The veteran community, because it's like a Jesus in Nazareth being rejected by his own people thing. But I still wanted to reach out to veterans. I still want the veteran community to get a hold of this and take it to their civilian friends and use it kind of as a substitute story where I just barf it all up so you don't have to. So you can release your story. You can tell your story more selectively based on how I barf it all up. I'm barfing up my soul. Okay. That way you don't have to do it. You can share your story more selectively based on me barfing up my soul into that manuscript. Okay. That's a prototype. That's the one I got to get fixed. So anyways, one of the people, all I'm going to say is he has inroads in the corrections and law enforcement community. That's all I'm going to say. One of the things we wanted it to be a teaching tool in the law enforcement and corrections institute, the law and community, the law enforcement and corrections community. And I talked to him the other day because I'm letting him read it. He said it's well written, it's graphic, it's descriptive. He likes it so far. He really likes what he's been reading. So I asked him, I says, can we use this as a teaching tool for your police officer, for the police and the corrections communities? He's like, I never thought of that. Think about it. Think about it like right now. Like right now. I want you to think about it. So I've got that going for me. So we're working on that. Ultimately, this is going to sound horrible. This is going to sound just really stupid and dysfunctional, but just bear with me. What I want, like, let's say this got all the way up to the state level. I would want one of them to say to me, I've read your book. You are never allowed to apply for a job in either corrections or law enforcement. I want them to say that to me as a testament of how well I wrote the book. And in the process of writing the book, I discovered there are certain things I'm just not going to, because I was basically, I collaborated with at least 10 different people. I was essentially a project manager. Being a project manager drove me to the brink of clinical insanity. So I have no desire to be a project manager ever again, like ever. I, like with my cookbook and with the writer's manual, I'm just going to be creative, retarded, whack nut job, just doing random stuff, and just, I'm going to have to be reined in because I just want to be mindless because my brain is just taxed to the limit. Okay. So I want, again, I would love for like the state attorney general to be like, I've read your book. Don't you dare apply for a job in law enforcement or corrections. No. You're not allowed. That would make me so happy, because it would be a testament to how well I wrote the book and I developed myself as a character. And it would be a testament to how well I describe my experience. That's what I'm shooting for. I would love it if every single top cop in every state sent me a letter saying, we will use you as a consultant, but you are never allowed to apply for a job in corrections or law enforcement ever. You're never allowed to do that. You are forbidden from being a cop or a prison guard in any capacity ever. You can be a consultant as far as the cautionary tale and what not to do, but you will never ever work in law enforcement or corrections ever. That would be, I don't know why, but that would just trip my trigger to know it. I would be Gideon the schoolboy if I had like 50 letters, one from each state attorney general, telling me that I can be a consultant and tell them what to do and not to do as far as, interpersonal issues between guards and prisoners and interpersonal issues between up and down in the chain of command. If I could be a consultant like that, that would be awesome. I would love that. Okay. I could affect change that way too. Okay. So that would be one of my goals. I would want this. I'm in North Carolina now. I would love it if the state attorney general would be like, no, we'll use your book as a teaching tool. We'll give it to the shrinks and we'll have them use that on all our law enforcement and corrections personnel to help them deal with their issues, because your story is so outlandish. You have destroyed every excuse we've ever had to not get help. Yeah, that would make me get here to schoolboy. If I could do that for the veteran community and for the law enforcement and corrections community, I'm happy. If I can be that over the top cautionary tale, I'm good. Okay. So that's my goal. Okay. And if I can, yeah, that's my goal. So yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan for the book. The writing program, I can't just tell you, hey, write a book, it's cathartic. I have to give you the AAR. Okay. So that's the AAR. Now you'll notice I'm in my room. I really should not be in my room. Like, I should not be doing my podcasts in here. I should not be. Let me open the door. It's a little bit warm and I got my AC on. But yeah, I should not be in this room. I'm still struggling with my depression. I'm still struggling with my isolation. I'm lucky I got to the gym and back in time, because I left so late, because it's like there's an internal battle going on in my head. You need to get out of the house. You need to get down the road. You need to get to the gym and get the workout in. And then there's a part. It's like, if I don't leave, it's my biggest fear is I'm going to bunker in to the point where I damn near starve myself to death. So I'm still. Don't act like don't ever think I've got it all together. If I tell you I've got it all together, call Jonathan Pruden from One Warrior Project and say, he lied to all of us. He said he's got it together. No. You go get him. Okay. I am the farthest human being from having it all together. I'm struggling to get this done. And I'm struggling just to function, but I'm sharing my struggle, so you've got no excuse to not get yourself together. I want you to look at me and say, okay, I am getting my act together, because I'm seeing what this dude is going through and he's owning it, and I can see myself going in that direction. So I can scare you out of your isolation and out of the house. Like every day I have to fight my urge to not leave the house for days and weeks on end. It's so bad. My neighbor, who's also a retired medic, he knows he's that rare civilian that gets me. He knows he actually left me a couple tasks to do for him while he's gone on vacation. And it's like, I've got to do that. And he knows when my bunker monster, my isolation monster is getting out of control. That's the reason he did that. He's one of those rare civilians that I actually like and trust. No offense, but it's rare. But yeah, so yeah, yeah, that's what I'm struggling with right now. I go to the gym every day. It's this weird mentally in my head. It's a weird fight between my PTSD and my diabetes. Okay, here's the thing. When I don't know why, when I came out of the coma, the nurse was on this side. She hands me the phone like this, and she says, "There's someone who wants to talk to you." And as soon as I grabbed the phone, it was Jonathan. He said, "You do realize you were in a 2-day diabetic coma?" And I said, "Well, that explains why I slept so freaking well." Okay, so I don't ask me why. I can't make sense of it myself. But if you all want to try making sense of it, as soon as I see the phone like this, there are times I'll stare at my phone. It's like I've got to go to the damn gym. Every time I see that phone, it's a moment frozen in my mind that I can't explain. Every time I see the phone like this, it's like, damn it, I got to go to the gym because it's right when I came out of the damn coma. Literally, I'm wake up, she's right there, bam. It's like, she's like, there's someone on the phone who wants to speak to you, and I'm like, okay, just came out of the coma, she's like, bam, she's like right there. So my daily existence is a fight between my diabetes and my PTSD. Fortunately, my diabetes okay. Have who get a hold of you? Pimp. Who do you have to have? Who do you want me to get a hold of you? Anyways, yeah, my daily existence is a fight between my PTSD and my diabetes. Thankfully, my diabetes has been winning because I've been getting out of the house, but it's a daily damn struggle. Every damn day, it's a daily damn struggle. So yeah, I'm sharing my struggle with you, so you can be like, "Oh, dude, no, I'm not going there." Because I want you to be able to see yourself go. Wonder Warrior guy. Okay, I'll put you two in touch. I'll put you two in touch. Yeah, give me some time once the podcast is over. I'll get you two hooked up. I'll get you two hooked up on a private chat, and I'll get him to call you, get a hold of you. So yeah, gotcha, Pimp. So yeah, that's my as a matter of fact, I'll do you one better. I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it like this. I just texted him a picture of what you said. So I'll harass the piss out of him because he loves it when I do that. He does. He really does. Jonathan Burton, you know you love it when I harass you. You know you love me being a pain in your ass. You know it. Don't lie. Anyways, because he's a sadomasochist, I guess. But yeah, that's my daily struggle every single day. Okay. And I want you guys to see my struggle. Be like, nope, I ain't going down that road. No. And I want it to be like the hubby veteran and the civilian wife. The civilian wife is watching this and she looks at you like, you're done, dude. You're done making excuses, dude. No. Look at him. You're done. You're done. You're gonna do this. You're gonna go to the vet center. She's a damn shrink. We're gonna pony up $320 damn for a blood test where they take 9 tubes of blood out of your dumb ass, and we figure out what's wrong with your damn hormones in addition to you're done, dude. You're done. You're getting pardon my language. You're getting your shit in a pile, dude. That's the conversation I want to be had. I want to inspire that conversation. So if I have to make an obnoxious ass of myself to get this done, I'll do it. I don't care. I'm at a place where I just don't care. My body's beat to hell. I don't know if you know this, but you can get arthritis in your feet. Oh, crap. I forgot something. I'm going to just throw out this random helpful thing I learned today. I'll throw this out there. Okay, so I'm talking to one of the females that works in the juice bar at the gym. I know her husband. Her husband's cool as hell, but she's cute. She's nice. I love her to death. She's awesome. If you have neuropathy in your feet, or if you have like arthritis in your feet, like I do, it's called tart cherry extract. Okay. You can go to GNC or you can get it online. Go get that. It will help you if you've got either arthritic or neuropathy in your feet. I'm going to go get it tomorrow because I have to bike ride to get to the gym until I get the Jeep back up and running, which means I got to wait till next week to get my $111 damn my fan shroud. Yeah. I got to wait till next week until I get it all done. So I'm going to be bike riding, and I got to be bike riding anyways because I got to get down to 225 for Warrior Fest. Again, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm a broken record. Every damn episode, you're going to see me, all the things I'm going through to get ready for Warrior Fest. Okay. This episode about my testosterone, I've got my buddy Chad Chase said if once my testosterone levels are back up, I'm going to feel like a 25-year-old on steroids. Guess what? I need to be a 25-year-old on steroids again to get back in shape so I can be ready for Warrior Fest. I got to keep that promise. I got to do it. I need it for my own damn self-respect. So, yeah. So that's happening. All I'm going to say is if I can ever get the damn stimmy here and I can get a few extra bucks lined up, I'm working on, we're simply going to call it Project Smokezilla. I've mentioned it before. We're going to call it Project Smokezilla. And I got a friend who's going to be coming down to visit to help me add to the cookbook. Okay. So, and we're actually talking about if I can get Smokezilla built, we're going to road trip it from North Carolina to wherever we are in Missouri for Warrior Fest. And Smokezilla will come roaring to life if we can get this all done. I'm working on it. Just let me keep working on it. So there you go. But yeah, if you've got arthritic feet or you've got neuropathy, get tart cherry extract at GNC or online. I just found out about this today. I'm going to go get it because my feet are freaking killing me. It's a combination of three things when I'm bike riding: my lungs, my legs, and my arthritic neuropathy riddled feet. And I've almost been hit by two tractor trailers and one guy I work out at the gym with. Hey, I almost ran you over the other day. I'm like, thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for mentioning that. Yeah. So yeah, that's what there's your handy dietary supplement tip for the day. I guess I'll just throw them in once a week when I get them, So yeah. So there you go. So yeah, I gotta get Pete Barlow, aka GI Low. I gotta get him in here next week. I've got to get him in here one of these days. We might do it as a 2-part thing. I might have Dr. Eric on for a half hour, 45 minutes. Then I might have Pete Barlow on for 30 or 45 minutes so we can switch back and forth from my hormones to my writing program / AAR. So we'll just bounce back and forth. And again, I'm going to throw in the automotive segment that is fixing my beat to hell 2004 Jeep Wrangler TJ. Do me a favor. If anybody ever tries to sell you a vehicle from California, you take a canoe paddle and you spank them vigorously until they scream and cry because California emissions. I had a mechanic buddy who was a pastor. He always referred to warranty work as of the devil. Well, guess what? California emissions is of the devil. Fun fact: I had to do a report on California emissions, and as it turns out, it's going back to the California Air Resources Board simply dictates environmental air quality to the EPA, who then in turn dictates to the rest of the country. So, yeah, from an environmentalist standpoint, California is very dictatorial. They are very much a dictatorship in that respect. Okay, so yeah, basically, if anybody, I'll get a picture. I'll get a picture of the double. It's a Borla 2-part exhaust. It's got a catalytic converter for 3 cylinders, and it chokes the life out of that engine. So yeah, I've got a lot of coolant work to do, to include the fan clutch, probably eventually down the road the heater core, and next week I'm gonna be, when I say I'm gonna be flushing it out, when I say flushing it out, I'm running basically gunk basically through it to get all the crap out of it. And not only am I going to do that, I'm also going to take the Allen plugs out of the bottom of the block. Literally, once I'm done running the gunk through it, I'm just going to stick the garden hose in it. And don't worry, it's not city water, it's well water. I never ever use this. I always use distilled water. That way those deposits don't build up in the coolant jackets. But my mistake was I used ethylene glycol, the classic green stuff. Oh, fun fact. There's this old woman, mean old woman. She put ethylene glycol in her now late husband's Mountain Dew. Now, here's the thing. A coroner told me ethylene glycol is naturally occurring in the body, but only in trace amounts. And he had enough ethylene glycol in him to keep my Jeep nice and cool. Yeah, he had a boatload of ethylene glycol in the system, and then then the police are like, "Where the hell did he get all this ethylene glycol from in the system?" And every time he'd drink his Mountain Dew, he'd be like, "This Mountain Dew's awfully sweet." She'd be like, "Shut up and drink it." And yeah, she killed him. Just yeah, that came out of nowhere. So yeah, I'm going to be using the Mopar stuff, which is like orange or something. So, but I got to clean it out. And I'm literally, once I run the gunk through it and clean it all the way, I'm literally going to pop out however many Allen plugs there are at the bottom of the block where all the coolant passages are, and I'm just gonna turn it off. I'm gonna put the hose in, and I'm just gonna let it just run through. Like for a half hour, I'll just let it run through, and it's gonna be the coolant system in the block will be spotless by the time I'm done. Okay. So yeah, we're good. That's the plan for next week once the fan shroud gets here. So I'll get that. Once I get the fan shroud in, I'll probably, just for something to do tomorrow, after I get back from the gym, tomorrow I'll throw this on. I'm going to talk with my buddy Chad Chase. My neighbor was like, "Dude, just take the thermostat out and just let it run through." I'll ask him. I think it's a good idea. I mean, just to get it continuously running, you know. But yeah, I'll talk to Chad Chase. I think it's a good idea. I'll run it by him, see what he thinks, you know, because I don't like to assume I know it all. I like to run stuff by people just to make sure. I'm a very much a fan of confirmation. I assume nothing unless I know from personal experience. But yeah, I'll get this put on probably tomorrow. And then once the fan, I'll leave the fan blades themselves off. And then once the shroud gets here, I'll put the shroud in, the blade on. Then I'll run the coolant. Then I'll run the gunk through, and I'll get it cleaned up real good. You know, yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, that's what I got planned for this. And the reason I'm sharing that with you guys this week, so you guys know I'm doing stuff that involves me being out of the house. So I got a couple household chores for my neighbor to do, so that'll keep me out of the house. So that's the plan. So, okay. Does anybody have any other questions? Jump in the comments. Oh, Lunchbox and Pimp are doing a Friday night pre-WrestleMania show at 7 Central. Vets Unanimous something, and Will Entertainment. Okay, cool. We got that going on. So Friday night. Tune in. I gotta figure out what. Well, anyways, yeah, tune in for that. So anybody else, I'm gonna keep running I got 26-ish minutes. I'm gonna run my mouth. If you got questions, let me know and I'll answer them. But yeah, so the plan is fan clutch, chores for my neighbor Jim. I'm gonna get with my lifting mentor tomorrow. I'll get my eating schedule because I got all those little itty bitty food prep size bowls. I got a boatload of dishes to do because I've been in my room. I've been not doing anything. I've been in that super horrible isolation mode, and the dishes are bad. I gotta do dishes and food prep. I'm gonna do that tonight. Do I work on UTVs? No, I don't. I'd like to know what they are. No, not now. I'm curious, so I'll learn what they are, and But yeah, you probably mean ATVs, or do you mean UTVs? I don't know. No, I right now I'm isolating real bad. The plan is to go back to school for a couple of years and get my skills, back up to snuff. Because the problem with the automotive industry is that if you're not constantly keeping up with the industry, you're behind, and the industry turns over every 3 to 5 years. So, yeah, I've got to get back in school, and because of that damn book, I haven't worked. It's been about the book and struggling with my PTSD and struggling with my. If I were honest with myself, I've had diabetes. I've been pre-diabetic since 2012. If I were really honest with myself, I was up at a little place in Wisconsin called Camp American Legion. If you're in Wisconsin, check out Camp American Legion. It's the only. I got to put an axle on when I've never done it. Oh, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. I've got my neighbor's got a little 6-wheeler. I'd have to look at it. I'd love to do that project with you. That'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. No, the plan is to go back to school, but I'm fighting the. Don't do YouTube University unless you absolutely have to. Get like the procedures off of all data, because I've got for my manual, I've got a Chilton. Chilton's not bad. Chilton's pretty good, but Mitchell's even better. I've always liked Mitchell. Chilton's second, and Haynes. Haynes, no, I don't even like Haynes, but I like Chilton, and Mitchell's the best. And if you can get all data, that'd be even better, but that's too expensive. So the plan is to get back into school, and so I can get my skills upgraded. But Voc Rehab, I had a bad experience with them, and they're not going to like me once they read in the book the end, because I say some very honest things about. Yeah, pimp, I know. YouTube University, yeah, they cover multiple topics. They cover all things cars. They cover conspiracy theories. YouTube University is huge. So, yeah. But anyways, the plan is to get back into school, but I've got to get my hormones under control. The problem is, when I went to Marcus Institute for Brain Health in Aurora, Colorado last year, it's like they had a protocol for, like, let's say the engine rebuilding process in here was like the process they went through to fix what needed to be fixing up here. It's like they stopped right at the beginning of the reassembly process, and they assumed I would have local resources to help me finish that job, and that didn't happen. A, because of the Rona, and B, because of my limited resources. I'm broke. I'm living on 70% for PTSD. Well, if you talk to the medical side, I got PTSD. If you talk to the idiots on the claims side, I have, for lack of a better way of describing it, combat ADHD. They just make, that's a cheaper diagnosis, as far as they don't have to pay anything for that, or they do have to pay it for PTSD. Okay, so it's whatever they want it to be, to keep costs down as cheaply as possible. So I need my issues dealt with in a way, for me, that feels like it adhered to a protocol that is well thought out, that I can wrap my mind around this. I need something like this to help me make peace with all the stuff I need to make peace with and deal with what I need to deal with. I would love it if Dr. Eric would become a part of some kind of MIBH style team to where my hormones were taken into consideration as well, so I could really get my issues dealt with, so I could get back to functioning properly, to where I could think straight. Because as you can tell, the whole my short-term memory is somewhere between a dumb dog and a toddler. Not entirely an exaggeration. Okay, let's be real. So now, one thing I hate sharing at the beginning of the show because it feels like a rude way to start off. So I always share at the end. So I'll share at the end once I'm done. But yeah, I want you guys to know that I want you to have my full undivided attention. I want you to know that I'm working with a couple of guys at Whoa Entertainment to get my show together, because honestly, because I have perfectionist issues, I have isolation issues, I have a fear of failure issues. I have the computer technology capacity quotient of fried cabbage. I'm not very good at this, so I'm leaning on my friends heavily to help me, because I'm really scared of making mistakes. And I've got things I want to do so I can kind of be up to snuff with the rest of the shows, where I've got a musical intro, I've got to get pictures sent, because I'm so paranoid in the process of writing my book. The laptop that I actually wrote the book on, I no longer use on. Social media does not touch that going on 12-year-old laptop. I have encrypted email that I communicate with people through, and that's it. Well, that and Microsoft Word. That's it. Those are the only two things that the internet is turned on for on that laptop. So I got to get pictures off of that laptop through my encrypted email to my regular email onto here. So I'm going to get that eventually, so I can figure out how many pictures I got to have in relation to the song I want on there, based on my conversation with a couple of the guys at Whoa Entertainment, because I kind of like that song, but it fit the vibe and the theme of this show. Okay, I'm going to read this. I don't know, Pimp. I haven't mastered the whole pinning post thing yet. I'll get to work on that. But yeah, all the shows. I'll mention all the shows again. Let me mention all the shows again. Hold on a second. I got to do it on this, so that way I don't have to switch over. I'll just go off of Facebook off of my phone. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to mention all the shows again. Okay. So we got. Okay. Here's the shows. We got Wake Up Gallatin every morning at 8, and all times are Central Standard Time. Okay. Oh, Carl, thank you for your help. And there are days I feel like I still have. Again, he wants to earn. Carl Albertson obviously wants a V device on his long-suffering bachelor. He's trying to help me, even though I have the technological capacity of fried cabbage. So yeah, Carl is trying to earn his V device on his long-suffering badge. Obviously, trying to help me with technologically speaking. Anyways, okay. Monday through Friday, Wake Up Gallatin at 08. Again, all time Central. Tuesday is the flagship show, the Wool Radio Network, with Regnet pimping Goose once he comes out of hiding, and I mean that in the most loving and sarcastic way possible. Wednesday, Blue Phoenix Gaming with Jennifer. She's all right. She's cool. Her and Carl are redesigning my logo, and what we're gonna do is they're both gonna redesign them, and then I'll put them on Whoa Entertainment and the Whoa HQ, and you guys can vote on it, which one you want, or we can do both. I don't care. I want to put it up to you guys to get you guys interacting, so we'll do that. They're both working on both designs. Once they complete the designs, we'll put them on both on Whoa Entertainment and the Whoa HQ. We will get, and you guys can vote on them. To prove my numbers are legitimately horrifyingly bad as far as the New Jerseyans, the triglycerides and the blood sugars and the A1C, I gotta call up Trinitas Regional Medical Center in Lisbon, New Jersey, where I was in my 2-day diabetic coma. I got the triglycerides from the hospital in Massachusetts. I'm gonna ask Goose if it's a good idea for me to put that on the Whoa HQ and Whoa Entertainment so you can see those numbers. Goose, I texted him a picture of my triglycerides. They're technically a Guinness. I think they're a Guinness Book of World Records because they're over 10,000. Yes, I said it. 10,016. Those are my triglycerides. The worst reading, the worst blood result, the worst test result. My A1C was 12.7, and all I know, they just said that my blood sugars were over 1,000. I'm going to call Trinitas. Somebody remind me to call Trinitas tomorrow. Oh, back to this. Okay, Thursday. Eventually, we'll get it back because I would love to collaborate with Gapplebee's because I'm using my Jeep anyways as my project, my resto mod project. As in, the body will be gutted. It will come up off the frame and it will go on what's called a body rotisserie. And yeah, again, 6 months, $50,000 minimum just for the body work. So all this stuff has to sell and make me a boatload of money to get out of debt and pay for all this so I can keep my promise. That, and I'm fed up with not having a good roadworthy vehicle. I've had that Jeep since I came home in 08. It's an 04. I picked it up in 08. It's mine, and I want to pimp it out because I want to extend the life of it, obviously, and I need it. I need to rebuild it for my own self-respect so I can prove that I'm competent at what I do. Okay. So I want to do that. I need to do that. So I need to get this stuff selling so I can not be broke forever. That's to include the book, the cookbook, the AAR/writer's guide, and all I'll say is Project Smokezilla. We're going to talk about that at once Matt, firefighter friend of mine, and a welder friend of mine kind of all get together and we get this together eventually. Ideally before Warrior Fest. Because there's now, as of a conversation last night, a plan in place to road trip it to Warrior Fest with Smokezilla in tow. Don't even ask me how that happened last night, but it happened. So there you go. Okay, back to the shows. Yeah, I want to, but yeah, Cars and Coronas with Gapplebee's. That's at 1400 on Thursdays, basically a few hours before this show. The Harambe Keeper at 5 Central Standard Time. Happy Hour with William. We're going to get him back. It's just going to take time. He's going through his battles, and we're supporting him, and we love him. And you know, I'm trying to get people to come on to my show so we can get them, because for me, I need repetition. Here's the thing. I don't want to be famous or anything. I just want to get my story out there, and I want to be a cautionary tale. I don't want to make the big time like this one idiot said I did. I don't. I'm very antisocial. I fight my antisocial tendencies every day. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be a lot of exposure, but I know I need a lot of repetitions to get proficient so I can be good at what I do. Okay, so I want lots. I'll invite everybody and anybody to come onto my show to be a part of my show. That way we can get conversations going, and we can get people talking, and we can get people collaborating on various projects, so we can get lots of stuff done for Woe Entertainment, but by natural extension, but by the veteran community at large. That way they say, hey, okay, these people are fighting their GWAT induced issues through collaboration and through projects, to where they're doing things and they're getting things done and they're dealing with what they need to deal with. So that's my thought process. And I'm just blurting this out because, again, the egg timer's on. I got to get it out or I lose it forever. Okay. Saturday at 1900, 7 Central Standard Time is Hot Boxing with Matt. He and I send him stuff. I literally will share stuff at like 2 or 3 in the morning and something I see, and I'm like, you need to do this, but you need to smoke it, So I've sent him stuff. I've got him like half out of his mind trying to figure out how to smoke half the crap I send him. So, and I'm going to, if we work it out and Smokezilla ends up at Warrior Fest, to all the guys to everybody in the Woe family who's going to be at Warrior Fest, I need you guys to do 2 things. Be prepared to get your hands, if you can, on watermelons so we can cook stuff in the watermelons. And this is going to sound weird, but I just need you to bear with me. I need you to start buying and eating. I need you guys to start buying and eating pistachio nuts with the shells, where you take the shell. Okay, here's what you're going to do from now on. Get a protein bucket. Eat the pistachio nut shells. Okay? eat the pistachio nuts. Put the shells in these protein buckets because I use these for kindling. Because I have a theory that you can use these to really keep the temperature cranked up when you're smoking stuff or when you're grilling stuff. This is excellent. Pistachio nut shells are excellent kindling. Okay. And because I eat pistachio nut shells because apparently they're really good for my diabetes. And I thought, and I'm telling you, I use a combination of for kindling. I use a combination of charcoal and pistachio nut shells, and burns for a long damn time. So everybody in the Woe Entertainment family who's going to be at Warrior Fest, start eating pistachio nut shells. Start putting them in protein buckets. Okay, it's weird. Just run with it. Just deal with it. Just don't argue with me. Start eating pistachio nuts. Start eating pistachio nuts and put the shells in protein buckets. So I got kindling for when I get to Warrior Fest. Just don't argue. Just roll with it and shut up. So anyways, okay, I've got that done. Pimp, who are you calling Tater? Who's Tater? I call my kettlebell coach Tater, and we have a weird dynamic, and I love him. He is the weirdest, most lovable weirdo coach ever. I call him Tater. And yeah, we have a weird dynamic. I love it. It's great. I really gotta get back to my kettlebell classes. Anyways, Tater is watching. Which Tater? Pimp, you gotta be specific. This isn't Twitter. Okay, you know what? Tell Tater I said hi. Yeah. So yeah. So check it out. We got 9 minutes left. If you got questions, let me know. But yeah, that's the plan going forward. Getting the Jeep fixed up. And here's the thing about the Jeep. The Jeep won't make it to Warrior Fest this year. The Jeep might, depending on how well everything sells, make it to Warrior Fest next year. Here's what I'm going to say. I plan. Oh, David Tater Spray. I know. I've seen you. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. I'm still weirded out by that damn camera. Anyways, okay. Unless I come up with a boatload of money for the Jeep, because again, my body guy takes one look at my Jeep in her current condition, and he says minimum 6 months, minimum of $50,000. Okay. And here's the thing: the Jeep will not be yellow anymore. Do you know why the Jeep won't be yellow anymore? The Jeep won't be yellow anymore because you see, yellow is the color of a taxi cab. It is. And when you're the dependable guy, all of your friends, they think all of your friends, once you become the dependable guy, they think you're an alchemist. You know what I say? You know what I think they say they think you're an alchemist? Every damn friend I have, I need you to give me a ride here. I'll take you to Taco Bell and I'll get you a taco. So you're telling me that I'm an alchemist and I can magically turn the taco into a usable fuel that I can stuff in my fuel tank. Is that what you're saying? You're saying that I'm an alchemist, that I can stuff a taco in a fuel tank and it can magically turn into a usable fuel. Well, I'm honored. Thank you that you think I'm that damn good that I can stuff a taco into a fuel tank and it'll turn into fuel, because I have money growing out of my ears and out of my ass that I can just throw in my tank because I don't put that nasty ethanol crap in my Jeep. Anyways, in addition to the $50,000 in body work, this is for those of you. This is going to come across as insane. I want to stuff a Cummins in it, a 6.7 liter Cummins. I want to do a 24 valve, not a 12 valve. I've got expensive plans for it. And if you think I'm putting a 6.7 liter 24 valve Cummins in my Jeep and I'm leaving the stock drivetrain behind it, you're crazier than most people think I am. And most people think I am clinically off the charts insane. So whole new drivetrain. Basically, the only thing that's going to be stock on it is maybe the steering wheel and the rear view mirror. Everything else is getting replaced. Okay. Wiring harnesses are getting replaced. My fog lights don't work because the cone in my turn signal is stuck to where it stays on. So I had to rip the relay out so I wouldn't kill my battery. So basically the only thing, and I do mean the only thing that's going to be stock in my Jeep Wrangler is the steering wheel possibly and the rearview mirror. Everything else is getting replaced. Everything else is getting replaced. And that's not going to, I guarantee you I won't be, now that I know the body work is going to cost 50 grand alone, the upgrades will cost no less than $100,000. I'm not joking. This is my baby. It's mine. I'm keeping it forever. And as far as the forced air induction is concerned, I'm going to kind of keep that a secret for now. But let's just say it's going to be custom and it's going to be expensive, which means if it's going, it's all I'm going to say is it's not going to be a twin turbo, but it's going to be. Let's just say it's going to be interesting if I can pull it off, and it means the internals are going to have to be upgraded. Like, yeah, it's going to be exceedingly expensive because I'm not. Again, if I'm going to pimp out a 6.7 liter Cummins, it's not going to. My goal is for it to not be putting out any less than 1,000 horse, and at least 12 to 1,400 foot-pounds of torque. Mm-hmm. Why? Because there's a story in the book involving an incident called the Three Sisters Mountains incident. The beginning of Wayne's World, they had an AMC Hornet. All I'll say is you'll read the story in the book and you'll understand why I will never use economy parts. I will always either use OEM or aftermarket. And I'm talking really good, expensive aftermarket parts because cheaping out, all I'll say is the moral of that story is cheaping out on parts has consequences. Yeah, that's probably the other reason I get traumatized because of the smell of coolant, but that's a story for another time. Yeah. So, yeah. All I'm going to say is the plans I have, all these plans are expensive, which means all of my projects that I'm putting together are going to have to make me a good chunk of money, A, to get out of debt, B, to upgrade toys, because this MacBook Pro, the one I was bought that I got from a friend, it's dead. It's like dead than dead. And this laptop I'm on is like a bare bones. I literally only use it for StreamYard and for a couple of other things. I'm going to use it for an old school RPG emulator app because I love my old school turn-based RPGs. Just I'm a dinosaur like that. And I'm fine with that. That's fine. Great. Anyways, I ultimately what I want to do is I want to get all these projects done so they're done right, and they're getting a maximum amount of impact. That's the goal. And I want to roll into Warrior Fest in a really nice A to B vehicle, towing Smokezilla. So the Stimmy's got to get here like now. Because, it's not going to be cheap how I'm going to put this together. And so there you go. And, Warrior Fest is 05 and 06 November. So my fat ass has to be 225 by 01 November. Yeah, I'm not sure where it is yet. We're still working that out, but I don't mind the road trip because when I was in the, hey there, Dan, hey there, Tater, how you doing? Check it out. I'm hoping to be there for Warrior Fest simply because I want the A to B vehicle to be really nice to tow Smokezilla to Warrior Fest. So, the plan is I got to be 225 by 1 November because I literally had to put a picture on either Woe Entertainment or the Woe HQ of me at 256-ish, and I've been up and down. So I've got to get on this testosterone protocol like now. So I got to start raising funds. So me, Carl, and a couple of other people are going to work on really fixing my whole setup here. That way I can get my PayPal up and running so I can start raising funds. And I don't know if y'all are the praying kind, but pray that I can get this thing in this local area with my book turned into a little side gig where I'm helping them and I'm making a few bucks so I can start paying for all this stuff because I've still got to get up to Ohio to get treatments done. Yeah, I need a miracle. So we gotta get this going. So the plan is to get everything up and running, get a good A to B vehicle so I can toast Smokezilla to Warrior Fest 05 and 06 November, be down to 225 by 1 November. So yeah, I got a lot of work to do, and I'm going to need all the help I can get. So any help you guys can render, I would be grateful for. I'm humbling myself to the point where I'm like, yeah, I need a hand with all this. So we got 15 seconds left. I'm going to sign off. My final thoughts are: take my story, take my weekly struggles that I'm sharing with you, and say, I can't allow myself to end up like that. And reach out to whoever you need to reach out to get the help you need to get. Because we're here to help you guys. And the best way for me to help you is to scare the hell out of you with the honesty of my story. So with that, we're at the 2 hour mark. I'm calling it a night. Love you guys. Peace out.